It's the time to get down.
We're not telling anybody
with a
anything
water
different.
gun.
You're going to sit back and go there. That's cold. We're not telling anybody anything different. And yeah,
No.
I think everybody gets behind the students. And they're not being flagrant the way you think. Yeah, there are some bad seats in any element of
I want to
business.
know. That's why I want to know specifically the gifts.
Right.
Because to me, every time I keep finding out what they get,
Right.
it wasn't enough. I'm going like, is that the gift?
That's it.
Now, Reggie got a little bit more because they got rent on the house and all that.
Oh, come
but
on.
still, I'm going, is that it?
You know what?
Is that it?
Okay.
I mean, to me, no offense. Come on.
Wait, let me do this.
Come on.
The agent that probably ushered that in for someone like Reggie probably
Yeah.
makes what, about $150,000 at least or more low ball money he makes on his salary or his commission for what he does. Let's see, the institution that's going to merchandise off of Reggie is going to make millions and millions. And so the rent probably paid that Reggie Bush got for the rent probably only covered maybe 2 or 3 days of work by the agent, right? So that's a
Hey.
violation.
Hey, or how about when they get you for a trip?
I know.
Add that up, airfare and everything. Really,
Right.
That's really what they got away with 5,000, huh?
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So okay,
Man, I'm gonna lose sleep over that bad boy.
hey, look, you know what we had to address this only because it is important to understand that this guy is saying, look, I have children that go on the internet and find out about me before you guys come to me to tell me about what I'm doing. So he understands. He said at some point you have to turn around and say, yeah, I supported the students. Maybe not the way you think, but you know what? It is an unfair practice. And college institutions, which I love, I mean, the bastion of education, still are operating at a principal profit by and large. And they say we control the amount of income we get and dictate whether you should get some of that or not. And what, less than 1% of the college students go to pro and are successful? So all that other money that's generated by the whoopla goes into their pockets. And that's why you won't see playoffs and stuff like that, because they get to share the wealth of the revenues during bowl games. The bowl games are the replacement of you can't qualify for the playoffs typically, but we're going to give you something anyway. So, hey, we're cool with it.
Well, when some dictate, he dictates. That was a dictate. A special Victor Allen excursion.
Wait, you almost went there. But you had
Some dictate and he dictate.
You hesitated.
The dictate.
All right. NFL rankings, man. Did you see the NFL rankings I shifted over to you, man? To see the top 10?
Well, I got them right here. I think they got them right here.
Rankings? Yeah, I'll show you.
I think they right here.
The power rankings.
The top 10.
Yes, the top 10, brother. The
And
top 10.
I basically agree.
Yeah. Okay. Now that you agree with that, here's the thing that we all know: the rankings change week to week.
Who did these? How are they done? Do you know?
It's a source.
Okay.
I'm gonna give them props. Because I don't
okay.
mind. I referenced a couple of places, but today I referenced USA Today.
Okay, because it has to do only with. I was not asked because
Right.
some are from the writers,
Yes.
and some are from a certain group of writers.
There you go.
So it all has to do with the sources of who gets to vote on
That's
this.
right.
That's all the reason I asked.
Right. So the bottom line is that it's subjective all the time.
Always.
Yeah. So here's the part that I'm looking at. You got your top 10 for this week, so that's no big surprise. What I'm looking at is what teams deserve not to be in this top 10.
I think the shockers are, first of all, let's talk. Okay, let me go through as quickly say the ones I kind of automatically think are going to be there.
Right.
New York Jets, totally. Baltimore Ravens, really looking great.
Right.
Stellar defense and an offense that's improving.
Right.
Got to give it to them. Very solid.
Right.
Pittsburgh, we liked them before Roethlisberger.
Right.
Okay, now Indianapolis always going to be there. Atlanta, aren't you wondering? That's the first question mark. Okay,
Right.
but looking, improving on what they're doing, continuing on their building.
Right.
But is Atlanta the one there? Green Bay, you know what? Green Bay is going to be there because you know what? With Aaron Rodgers, no matter what, he is the preeminent
Right.
number one probably quarterback in the NFL, even over Peyton right now, just on based on skill set,
Right.
ability to scramble, and just confidence, all of that. So
Right.
so far, Vic, it's just you wonder about the Atlanta Falcons, and you wonder about Chicago Bears, and you wonder about the New York Giants.
Okay, and you bring up a good point because the part I was looking at is that a few weeks ago, you had the New York Giants looking like the team that was in total disarray. And everybody had looked at them, I believe, on a Monday Night Football game. I can't recall if it was Sunday night or whatever. And everybody said they look so lousy, look real bad. And here they are right now, top of their division. So
he's done that.
Yeah.
Coughlin has done that at least 2 or 3 times that I've seen.
Right.
Where specifically where he had major so-called player fallout.
Yeah.
Like rebellion, mutiny on the team, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Right, Vic?
Yep.
Come back and then go to champ. I think the year they won the Super Bowl.
Yes. Yeah.
That was that kind of year for them.
Yeah, the part that I like about this is that you're right about that. And I'm still looking at the other side of this, too, because when I looked at what teams deserve not to be in that top 10, I'm sorry, I had to first stop and look. Believe it or not, somebody's going to say why, and I'm saying it's because they have some devastating injuries. Green Bay Packers. Most people don't realize they have a lot of players right now, a lot of players, more than any other team right now, who are hurt. So there's one time to rank them because of all the healthy players. The other is to rank them at this time, and at this time, unfortunately, they're not looking like the Green Bay Packers of the first 2 weeks. The big surprise at Atlanta Falcons, nobody saw this coming because you have your first NFC team that's ranked 5th. Everybody else is from the AFC. So would you have ever guessed that Atlanta Falcons will be over Dallas, Philadelphia, Washington? You name them all, and I said you would never seen that. Carolina, the whole of them. That is my biggest surprise. They stepped up in such a way that you can't even imagine, wait a minute, they're the top NFC team playing right now, which means, is it a down NFC division across the board?
That's where I'm about to say. See, that's where if we don't agree with 3 of them, then who would we put there? Right. One of the people that I think, Washington, I wonder about how you look at that right now. I like the way Washington is improving steadily. They're looking more and more like a Shanahan team. Right. They're on that. They may not be there right now, but to me, they have already shown a Shanahan stamp. Right. And they're getting solid and moving forward. Right. Philadelphia could be there. There's a debate. See, there's a debate. Just like with Dallas. You could have that debate too. See what I'm saying? That's where your issue is right now.
Oh, yeah. I think,
Atlanta may be the best one right now.
Right. I agree with you. I think the part that most people were looking for is that the NFC divisions was going to be a tougher race across the board, but all the teams are underperforming, Mario.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what we were saying.
All of them are underperforming.
Some of these, well, not all of these, but I'm just saying some of these, like, for example,
New Orleans.
Well, you also are lacking the Miami Dolphins on here, right?
Right, from the AFC, and I understand
even though you got a bunch of AFC people, but I'm just saying.
They're not in the top 10.
But isn't that interesting? Before the season, remember now, that would, at least they were expected to at least be heavy contender to me. They still may end up being. Right. But it's just that they're expected to be a heavy contender on the Jets and all that.
Yeah. This is and really what we're saying now is that if you had to pick.
But the NFC's terrible.
It is. And the part that everybody won't get over is they're going to hang on to the Dallas Cowboys because everybody wants them to be there because why? Because on paper,
they're America's team.
Well, maybe on paper,
America's team.
Well, what does that tell you about team play? You're wrong. You're wrong. Hey, come on, man. First of all, they're not America's team.
They said they were.
Who said?
That's one of the reasons I was like, "Give me ain't that a bitch." That's why I always rooted against Dallas Cow. One of them, except for I always like certain players we like. Though.
Here's the part that I'm saying, and I'm saying this for a reason. Mike Singletary has already been pitched under the gun. And they're saying that he
should be.
Okay, and
I like him, but the team is not performing.
Wait a minute. He's winless, right?
And not even looking good in that.
Okay, now, here's the history. His team showed better performance from last year, which made the expectations become greater this year. He's underperforming at that level, and they've adjusted. Now, I'm just going to say this. Now, Mr. Phillips over there at Dallas, how many years has he been with this organization?
I don't know how many it's been, about 8?
And they're one game over Mike Singletary's 49ers, right? And they have better talent. But nobody says anything about the coach over at Dallas, right?
Well, he has a history of winning something.
Where?
Mike hasn't.
Where?
When? Other years the team, he's been a decent,
how many playoffs have they been in since when? The last 12, 15 years?
Their overall record.
You need to go see their record.
What's his record?
Bad. That the whole history about Dallas is they've only been to one playoff.
Well, I'm not seeing that playoff is one thing. I'm saying, what about the win-loss record?
But they're not. They're saying they underperform based on the talent.
Well, of course, but I'm just saying the win-loss record. There's a bunch of them that don't do well in the playoffs or haven't done well in the playoffs. I just know, looking at the history of his career,
right.
I don't think I would characterize Wade Phillips as a loser. I wouldn't. I don't think I'd be willing to go that far.
Ooh,
now,
man.
maybe some people might be, but I wouldn't.
You know what? I'll.
I mean, in other words, okay. Let me give you some other ones that even. How about Norv Turner? Norv Turner.
No, same in San Diego. Same,
yeah. What would you say? How would you characterize? His
I
career, he has a history enough of successes.
Look, that
I know what you're saying.
I agree.
Oatmeal man, right?
Right. I'm saying
oatmeal
man. Look, I'm not saying Norv is it. I think there takes a certain cat in a coaching way that rises above everyone else. Norv has never been known to do that. If you go look at the Pittsburgh Steelers coach and go like, in his short term that he came in there and got a Super Bowl, I said, why? Tomlin did something to come in and immediately impact the team.
Right.
Norv has been in the league.
Well, so Wade, now I'm just saying that now. So are you saying for Wade,
that this,
I'd have to, I want to see his record though, because I don't like to speak on that till I need to see the numbers. Because I thought his record in Dallas was just that it was average, kind of average. I didn't think it was bad.
And I think, Mario, I agree with you. The part that I'm saying is when you get coaches that get that type of support, the biggest stadium, deep pockets, the best players, you get all that. And I'm sorry, the problem that you got is that you have to look at a team like Atlanta and say,
how is that different for, like, say, Marvin Lewis?
Okay, what do you mean as it relates to what?
They kind of hanging in there with him.
Well, they hanging, but look who you got. Everybody has.
Okay, I mean, in other words, don't you think? Because to me, I keep going. He's okay. Certain people. Okay, if you want to say who's kind of getting love, who's underperforming, Singletary.
Yeah, no, I'm
Marvin
saying,
Lewis.
Yeah, I'm saying
Wade Phillips.
Yes.
But but like I said, there are some other ones on that list.
Right, and I think the part that they're saying is, when the ownership and everybody says, you guys have...
How about the Raiders?
Oh, wait a minute. But see, here's the thing that's separated with Dallas. Everybody says, bar none, across the board, the best talent in the league. Deepest talent in the league. What point do you turn around and go, you got my money, you got the players, you got the stadium, the Super Bowl's here, and you got one game winning so far?
I think it's bad, but isn't that the same reason why Singletary's on the hot seat?
Yeah, Singletary
because they're expected.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
So I'm just saying there's a few of them. I'm not sure how much one is worse than the other.
I sit there and say,
to me, they kind of jump on Wade a little bit more than some people. Okay,
they have soon as Singletary lost his last game.
Maybe they don't jump on Wade.
They don't. I said, how come you don't?
Hey Vic, I think they're being nice to Singletary.
At least they couch the situation with, is he on the hot seat? And they put in a position if he's going to have it.
Nice to him.
And the offensive coordinator's already been let go.
They're nice to Lovie Smith in Chicago. Why do they keep saying, man, why don't you build a damn offense finally? Are you just inept?
But
you can't ever have an offense.
But he's winning in his division.
That's not the question. See, I will still go. Do you ever say, are you ever going to learn to have an offense?
4-1.
Are you ever going to hire an offensive coordinator?
4-1.
All right, so that's the answer.
1-4 or 1-3 versus 4-1. All
right, well then I guess that's the answer.
I'm sorry. Okay, let's go into the baseball. It's on and cracking.
That's why Norm Turner still has a job.
I knew he was going to say that. Okay, you're wrong. Okay, in baseball, everybody knows the Final Four. We got the Texas Rangers, who basically defeated the Tampa Bay. Oh man,
and who was watching?
You know, I can't.
They were getting
Tampa Bay Rays.
They had to give away 20,000 free tickets to get people in the stands to look good.
I know. But look, Tampa Bay Rays were expected to challenge the New York Yankees because they said we don't fear them. Problem with that is when you're looking over there, you don't catch who's coming over here. Texas Rangers seems to be retooled as a team. Their first ever playoff interest into this I guess, division as it relates to them making history. So now here it is. They're going to be going up against the big dog. The big dog is going to be New York. The predictions are New York is going to win probably in